we have a big difference between imaging and promo. Construction is the same. Crazy audio mayhem is the same. The deconstruction of reads and the bringing them back together, totally the same. However, thank you. Here's where it starts to change. Whereas radio is silly and fun and big and bold, TV is big and bold, but in a different sense. TV is about creating drama. It's about not so much the silly and the humorous and the funny anymore, and there's a little bit of that, but it's more about drama, because we've gone from a passive medium where we're trying to wake people up and get their attention, and we're literally all but jumping up and down, waving our arms, to a medium where people are already glued to what we do. We have their attention. It is active. They are intensely watching the television. So we just want to suck them in further. We're not getting in their face. We're not as loud. We're not quite as bold as we are with our radio choices. It's a little bit less of the character-y, a little bit less of the silly, but it's always about finding the drama. Finding the thing inside of the copy that becomes intense.
Sure.
So we find these dramatic aspects of the copy, and it's our job to bring them out. It's to make them pop. Now, again, remember, single sensory versus dual. Same decision-making process I think most of us go through with the spots that are different between commercial and radio. Radio is a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger, a little bit more animated. Television is a little bit more subdued because, again, they're intently watching. Radio's trying to get their attention. So keep that in mind. We have a handful of genres in promo that are the guideline that we use to determine the nature of the copy. Unlike radio, which is format dependent, and like I was saying earlier, dozens of formats, we just kind of touched on a few of them. Promo is dependent on programming. And every single TV station has one of a handful of program types. They're the following: comedy, drama, news, which also includes sports, kids programming, and daytime talk. That's it. That's their typical lineup. Everything that they create falls into one of those 5 major categories. And some of them are exclusive to just one category. Cable stations and satellite stations are specifically crafted. So they are all about one thing. Making sense? So, for instance, Discovery Channel and History Channel, because of the nature of what they do, they tend to lean towards the dramatic. Most of their shows are kind of heavy and adult-oriented and education-oriented. They're not the happy-go-lucky station. CNN, of course, is all news all the time. It is its own genre, and it's true to it. Food Network. Food Network is kind of like nonstop daytime talk. It's all done in that same vein. So we have an obligation to take a look at the copy and also the client itself, the station itself, and figure out, okay, where is this going to fall? And those choices are going to differ. Comedy is always the best, the funniest, the most entertaining, the most fun we could ever have. Does everybody know who Joe Cipriano was?
Yeah.
He's the king of this. Joe never has a bad day. Because he can't. He gets paid to be the happiest SOB alive. That's what his job is. No, he is. I mean, it works. So it's totally cool. But that's basically the deal. He's always happy. And you don't have a bad day when you're doing comedy. You also don't really have a bad time or a bad day when you're doing daytime talk. Daytime talk is kind of just a notch down from the comedy read. The comedy read is really big and really happy up here, and the daytime talk stuff just a hair below. We're happy, we like our guests are really cool. Oh, now we have a sad story, so we're going to bring it down even more, and then we come back to the middle, because it's Ellen, starting at 4. You've all heard this. We've all experienced it. The drama is always super dramatic. It's one step away from a movie trailer. This is why, for most promo voices, movie trailer is the next logical step. It really is kind of a stepping stone of imaging, promo, trailer work. If you'd like to see some cool examples of this, there's a guy I love. His name's Howard Parker. And Howard Parker is a prime example. You can watch his career from his early days in radio, then going into imaging, imaging to promo, promo to trailer. This is literally what he does now. His whole day is mostly promo and trailer work. And it's pretty neat to follow that path. The news stuff is very serious. It's not only that it's dramatic, it's authoritative, it's commanding, it's really, really big. The drama material doesn't always have to have a big sound. George Del Hoyo is another one of the big drama guys. He does a lot of stuff for Fox along with Joe. But he leans towards the creepy. He's very similar in sound to the Frosty thing, just not quite as nuts, but you can see where the similarity lies when you play them back to back. But the news guys are always really, really big and broad and commanding. It's a much, much more robust, bassy sound. And then, of course, the kids stuff, well, the kids stuff is kids stuff. It sounds like programming for kids. It almost sounds like kids are doing the promos, and sometimes they are. Or it's adult voice actors who are using kids' voices to put them on. And it has a lot of fun and a lot of silliness about it. So those are neat, too.